Welcome to the Agrawal classes. I am Ajit Agrawal. Today in the thermodynamics class, we will study available energy, also known as exergy, unavailable energy, also known as energy, and the irreversibility. Available energy. We had divided the energy into two groups. One is the high grade energy and the other one is a low grade energy. In the high grade energy, it is exempted from the second law of thermodynamics from conversion from one form to another form. But in case of a low grade energy, it is not exempted from the Carnot's law. So it will be by the Carnot law how much energy you can convert into the other form or the high grade energy form. So let us consider the two forms of energy. First is the high grade energy, that is mechanical energy, electrical energy, water power, wind power, kinetic energy of a jet and tidal power. These are the high grade energy, and the low grade energy are heat or thermal energy, heat derived from nuclear fission or fusion, and the heat derived from the combustion of fossil fuels. So you can see from this list that whenever the heat comes in picture, it is a low grade energy. Okay, so when we want to convert the low grade energy into a high grade energy, the second law of thermodynamics will come in picture, and the energy can be converted into a high grade energy by a limitation of the second law of thermodynamics. And usually we are doing that, हम लोग अधिकांशतः यही करते हैं कि मैक्सिमम हमको हाई ग्रेड एनर्जी की ही आवश्यकता होती है, इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी या मैकेनिकल वर्क, तो उस केस में हम लोग लो ग्रेड एनर्जी से हाई ग्रेड एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट करते हैं। जैसे कि हमारा हीट इंजन हुआ या गैस टरबाइन हुआ, इन सब में हम लो ग्रेड एनर्जी को हाई ग्रेड एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट करते हैं। अब हमको ये भी मालूम है कि सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स ये बोलता है कि इफ़ यू आर सप्लाइंग सर्टेन हीट into an engine, it cannot be converted totally into work. Some of the heat will be rejected to a lower temperature reservoir. That means there is a limitation, and that is the second law of thermodynamics. तो इस पर्टिकुलर केस में क्या होता है कि जो मैक्सिमम वर्क किसी भी हीट को देने से साइकिल में हम गेन कर सकते हैं, दैट पर्टिकुलर पार्ट ऑफ द एनर्जी इज नोन एज द अवेलेबल एनर्जी। और जो एनर्जी जिसको हमको कंपल्सरीली रिजेक्ट करना होगा लोअर टेम्परेचर रिजर्वायर को, उस एनर्जी को हम बोलेंगे अनअवेलेबल एनर्जी। सो पहले हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं अवेलेबल एनर्जी रिफर्ड टू ए साइकिल। इस केस में चलिए हम कंसीडर करते हैं कि वी आर हैविंग ए सम रिवर्सिबल हीट इंजन which is taking the heat Q1 from a higher temperature reservoir at T1 and rejecting certain amount of heat Q2 to a lower temperature reservoir having a temperature T2 and producing some work as the useful work, and that will be a maximum work because we are considering this as a reversible heat engine. In that case, the work which we can get will be the maximum, and this particular energy is known as the available energy, because if you are supplying Q amount or Q1 amount of heat to a reversible engine, whatever the maximum you can get, that is known as the available energy. अगर हम लोग फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स लगाते हैं तो हम कह सकते हैं Q1 जो हीट सप्लाई की है उसमें एक पार्ट है अवेलेबल एनर्जी जिसको हम वर्क में कन्वर्ट कर लेंगे, और दूसरा पार्ट है अनअवेलेबल एनर्जी जिसको कि हमको कंपल्सरीली रिजेक्ट करना होगा। सो वर्क मैक्सिमम जो होगा दैट विल बी इक्वल्स टू अवेलेबल एनर्जी, एंड दैट विल बी इक्वल्स टू फ्रॉम दिस इट विल बी Q1 माइनस UE। ओके, और अगर कोई हम इस पर्टिकुलर इसमें साइकिल में लेते हैं तो हमको ये मालूम है कि इफ़िशियंसी ऑफ रिवर्सिबल इंजन इज़ गिवन एज 1 माइनस T2 अपॉन T1 इफ़ इट इज़ ऑपरेटिंग बिटवीन द टेम्परेचर T1 एंड T2, एंड दिस विल बी मैक्सिमम इफ़ इट इज़ ए रिवर्सिबल। तो हम को एक फार्मूला और मालूम है कि इफिशियंसी इज इक्वल्स टू वर्क मैक्सिमम upon heat supplied Q1 if the efficiency is maximum. So from this equation, this reversible is also a maximum work which you can get, efficiency you can get. So we can write this 1 minus T2 upon T1 equals to W max upon Q1, or we can write W max work maximum equals to Q1 into 1 minus T2 upon T1. सो ये आपका एक फार्मूला हो गया जिसमें कि आप बोल सकते हैं कि मैक्सिमम वर्क जो है वो मुझे इतना मिलेगा इफ़ इट इज़ ऑपरेटिंग इन ए रिवर्सिबल साइकिल। अब हम कंसीडर करके देखते हैं कि कोई भी एक प्रोसेस ले लेते हैं कि रिवर्सिबल प्रोसेस ऑन द टी एस डायग्राम से फ्रॉम 1 और फ्रॉम x टू सर्टेन पॉइंट y। ये एक प्रोसेस हो रही है फ्रॉम x टू y और ये प्रोसेस रिवर्सिबल है। और इस प्रोसेस में अगर कोई हम एक एलिमेंट्री स्ट्रिप लेते हैं स्मॉल, जिसमें हम dq अमाउंट ऑफ हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हैं या dq1 अमाउंट ऑफ हीट ड्यूरिंग दिस स्मॉल और इनफाइनाइटेसिमल प्रोसेस, हम dq1 अमाउंट ऑफ हीट सप्लाई कर रहे हैं और से द टेम्परेचर एवरेज टेम्परेचर एट दिस पर्टिकुलर dq1 इज T। और इस पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस में जो हीट रिजेक्शन है वो मान लीजिए T0 टेम्परेचर पर है। सो ये पर्टिकुलर साइकिल अगर स्मॉल एलिमेंट्री साइकिल हम कंसीडर करेंगे, सो हीट सप्लाइड इज dq1 एट टेम्परेचर T एंड हीट रिजेक्टेड इज एट टेम्परेचर T0। सो W max और dW max for this small infinitesimal process in the xy will be equals to T1 minus T0 upon T1 into delta Q1। ओके, यहाँ पर हम बोल सकते हैं कि से दिस टेम्परेचर इज T1, सो इट इज T1 minus T0 upon T1, that is the efficiency into heat supplied will be the maximum work, or we can segregate it also in two parts, dq1 minus T0 upon T1 into dq1, and this particular delta W max will be equals to the available energy for this small elementary cycle. The available energy is this, and if we want to find out the total work done from x to y in the process, so it will be dW max will integrate this one x to y dq1 minus integral x to y T0 upon T1 into dq1. So this is the work done. Now if we'll integrate this, then the work maximum will be equals to dq1 is integral will become q1 or qxy during the process xy minus T0 as constant, T0 as constant, it will come out, and dq by T1 at x point it will be say Sx, and at y point the entropy is say Sy. So the integral of this will be Sy minus Sx, or we can say delta S, change in entropy, O Qxy. So W max is equals to heat supplied minus T0 into delta S. What is T0? T0 is the lowest temperature where the heat is rejected. You can consider this or you can consider this. There is no problems, whatever it is. So T0 is the lowest temperature where the heat is rejected, and Sy minus Sx, that is the entropy change, Sy minus Sx is the entropy change during the heat addition process. The entropy change during the heat addition process. So we can say maximum work we will get is equals to the heat supplied during the heat addition process minus the lowest temperature where heat is rejected into the change in entropy during the heat addition process. So this way we can get the maximum work done, and from this W max is nothing but the available energy. So available energy will become Qxy minus T0 into delta S, and unavailable energy will be equals to T0 into delta S. That is lowest temperature multiplied by the change in entropy during the heat addition process. This particular part is known as unavailable energy or energy, and this particular part is known as the available energy, okay, or known as the exergy. Now let us consider the second topic, decrease in available energy when the heat is transferred through a finite temperature difference. In this case, as in real life, whenever we are transferring the heat, there is a temperature difference between the source and the sink, or from the where we are giving the heat and from where we are receiving the heat. There is a temperature difference. So because of that, we are going to find out what is the reduction or what is the decrease in the available energy. As we can see, whenever we are transferring the heat, say for example, if I am heating water by a burner, in that case what is happening, here I am having a temperature of the flame is say around 600 or 700 degrees Celsius, but the water is having a temperature of say 25 degrees centigrade, and the heat is transferred. In that case what will happen, there is a finite temperature difference. Here the temperature is 600 and here is 25 degrees centigrade. So this is the finite temperature difference. So we are going to find out, because of this finite temperature difference in the energy heat transfer, what is the loss of the available energy. So first we will consider the cycle, white colored one, chalk one. The Q1 amount of heat is supplied in a Carnot engine at temperature T1, and WE amount of work during this expansion process we are getting, and then Q2 amount of heat is rejected at a lower temperature T0, and then from this point to this point it is a compression, adiabatic or isentropic or reversible adiabatic compression, in which we are supplying WC amount of work. This is the one cycle. In this particular process, the heat addition process, the entropy is increased by delta S ds amount. So Q1, the heat transferred during this cycle is T1 into change in entropy. So this is the Q1 is equals to change in entropy into temperature at which the heat is supplied. So temperature, this is T1, this is the height T1, and the change in entropy is this. So this is the total area under this particular process. So this is the amount of heat supplied, and Q2 is the amount of heat rejected, T0 into delta S. So this is the process of the heat rejection. So in this process T0, that is the height, and the width is change in entropy, that is delta S. So this is the area, this is the amount of heat rejected during this particular process. It is T0 into delta S, and we know that the work is nothing but a difference of these two. So Q1 minus Q2, that is work, or that is available energy, because we are considering this cycle as a reversible cycle. So it will be T1 minus T0 into delta S. Okay, that is our ideal situation. Now I am considering when the heat is transferred from the reservoir to the heat engine, Here the temperature when it is reaching or the engine is receiving the heat, the temperature is T1 dash instead of T1, and the T1 dash is lower than the T1, and the same amount of heat Q1 is I am supplying to this heat engine. So in that case the heat engine is receiving the heat at a temperature T1 dash which is lower than T1. So this is the heat addition process, this is the expansion process, this is the heat rejection process, and this is the compression process. So this way the new cycle completes. So for this cycle Q1, the amount of heat supplied is same I am keeping, so it will be T1 into delta S as earlier, but in this case it will be T1 into delta S dash. Entropy change is more for the same area because the height is reduced, so the width has to be more. So the entropy change is now instead of delta S, it is delta S dash. So Q1 is equals to T1 dash into delta S dash. As we are saying T1 is greater than T1 dash, that means delta S dash will be more than delta S. Then only the product of these two will be equal. Now in the second case the Q2 amount of heat is rejected. In the first we had considered as T0 into delta S, but in the second case when there is a finite temperature difference, when I am receiving the heat rejection, as we said, is equals to the lowest temperature where the heat is rejected, that is T0, multiplied by the change in entropy during the heat addition process. So in this case the heat addition is from this point to this point, so here the entropy change is delta S dash. So the Q2 dash will be equals to T0 into delta S dash, and as we know delta S dash is greater than delta S. From this delta S dash is greater than delta S, so the Q2 dash will be more than Q2, that is T0 is common, delta S is more than delta S, so Q2 dash will be greater than Q2. Or if we wish to calculate the W dash in the new cycle with a finite temperature difference, Q1 minus Q2 dash will be the work obtained, and that will be equals to Q1 is equals to T1 dash into delta S dash minus Q2 dash is equals to T0 into delta S dash. Similarly the W we can write as Q1 minus Q2. So Q1 we can write as T1 delta S, or we can write T1 dash into delta S dash. So here I am writing T1 dash into delta S dash minus Q2 I am writing as it is T0 into delta S. We know that the Ws will be less than W because amount of heat rejected is more, Q2 dash is more than Q2. So the work obtained will be lower than the work obtained in the cycle where there is no finite temperature difference during the heat addition. So if we wish to find out the difference between the W and W dash, then it will be equals to Q2 dash minus Q2, Q2 dash minus Q2, that is T0 into delta S dash minus delta S. So we can read this as there is a decrease in available energy. There is a decrease in available energy by the amount this particular area. This particular area is the decrease in the available energy, or we can say the product of lowest feasible temperature, product of lowest physical temperature and the additional entropy change in the system while receiving heat irreversibly. Okay, so this is the additional change in the entropy because of the heat received irreversibly. Irreversibly means with a finite temperature difference. So we can conclude that the decrease in available energy or exergy is the product of the lowest feasible temperature of heat rejection and the additional entropy change in the system while receiving the heat irreversibly compared to the case of reversible transfer of the same amount of heat. Now the third topic we will consider available energy from a finite energy source. We are having some source which is having a finite energy. A finite energy source means if we will take out the heat from that source, the temperature of that source will reduce and we can take out the heat till its temperature becomes the ambient temperature or the temperature of the surrounding. Up to that point we can take out the heat. So we have to find out the available energy from a finite temperature source. So let us consider we have a gas of mass mg, specific heat of CPG at constant pressure and the temperature is T. So this we have a finite source, and if we will take out the heat from this particular gas, the temperature of this gas can reduce up to a lower temperature, lowest possible temperature T0, which is the temperature of the surrounding, and the surrounding temperature will not change if you reject some heat from this to the surrounding, because the surrounding or the atmosphere is a reservoir. So whatever amount of heat you reject, the temperature will remain constant. So we are going to find out the available energy of this finite energy source. So let us consider a process 1 to 3 in which the gas is cooled or gas is supplying the heat of mass mg and initial temperature is T. As the gas rejects the heat or transfers the heat, its temperature reduces to the temperature T0, and during this particular process it rejects the Q1 amount of heat or it supplies the Q1 amount of heat. So it will be equals to mg into CPG into T minus T0, and during this heat supplied by this gas, at the same time we are having a certain fluid, a working fluid of mass mw, mass m, so mass of the working fluid, and the initial temperature of the working fluid is T0, and this mass is going in the reverse direction as the mass of the gas is coming. So the heat is transferred from the gas to this working fluid such that at any point if we will see, the temperature of the gas and the temperature of the working fluid will be the same. So in that case the same amount of heat is received by the working fluid, and that will be equals to MWF into CPWF into T minus T0, when this temperature will be constant. When we say mg into CPG, that is the heat capacity of this reservoir finite temperature source, is equals to the heat capacity of the working fluid. So in that particular case this Q1 will be equals to this, and this we can see on the graph 1 4 5 3 1. This is the total amount of heat is given by the gas and it is received by the working fluid. So the amount of heat received by the working fluid is equals to MWF into CPWF into T minus T0. Okay, so area under this process 3 to 1. Now we are considering the process 3 to 1, and this process is reversible because at any point the temperature of the gas which is giving the heat and the temperature of the working fluid which is receiving the heat is same. That is, the heat transfer is taking place without a finite temperature difference. So this process is a reversible process. Now we will find out the change in entropy of the gas. So for the gas, it is process 1 to 3. The temperature initially is T and the final temperature of the gas is T0. So we will integrate mg Cpg dt by T from T to T0. It will be mg Cpg log of T upon T0, and this value will come negative because T0 is less than T1. So log of this will be a negative. Similarly, the change in entropy of the working fluid during the process 3 to 1, the heat addition for the working fluid, it will be equals to integral of MWF CWF into dt by T from T0 to T, because the initial temperature of the working fluid is T0 and the final temperature is T. So when we'll integrate this, it will become MWF CPWF into log of T1 upon T0, and this will be the positive value because T1 is higher than T0. But when we say this process is a reversible process, at that time, during this process, the change in entropy of the universe will be 0. That is, the entropy change of the gas plus the entropy change of the working fluid, the sum of these two will be equals to 0. Now let us find out the amount of heat rejected Q2. So the Q2 will be equals to, as we said, the lowest temperature where the heat is rejected multiplied by the change in entropy during the heat addition process. So if we will consider this process for the working fluid, the change in entropy is equals to delta S WF. So heat rejected during this cycle, that is Q2 amount 2 to 3 process, will be equals to this one. We will substitute the delta SWF from this equation. So it will become T0 into MWF CPWF into log of T upon T0, and this area will be equals to 2, 4, 5, 3, 2. This is the amount of heat rejected. Now, available energy or the maximum work during this cycle 3, 1, 2, 3. During this cycle, this is the heat addition process, this is the work done we are getting, and this is the heat rejection process. So these three processes making a cycle. So available energy or the work maximum will be equals to the heat supplied minus heat rejected. So it will be mg Cpg T minus T0 for the gas. If I am considering the heat supplied is this mg Cpg T minus T0, and that is equals to MWF CPWF T minus T0. So I am interested basically to find out this one, the availability of this. So I am writing, instead of this MWF CPWF, I am writing mg Cpg T minus T0. That is the amount of heat supplied, and the amount of heat rejected is equals to T0 into mg Cpg log of T upon T0. This is the same, okay, for both the fluids. And this area is nothing but the work done is equals to 1, 2, 3, 1. This is the available energy or the work maximum. So we can say available energy is equals to, if we will take common mg into Cpg out, it will become T minus T0 minus T0 into log of T upon T0. So this is the available energy for the finite energy source. Now let us consider the quality of energy. To consider this quality of energy, let us consider a pipe we are having, and through this pipe some fluid is flowing of a mass m or at the rate of m dot, and this is the inlet point TA and this is the exit point at TB. So the flow is taking place from this end to this end. As this fluid is flowing through this pipe, there is a heat loss continuously from the surface of this pipe. So we'll consider a small element in the pipe, and at this point say the temperature is T1 dash, and at this point the temperature is T1 double dash, and during this particular process the heat is transferred from this pipe to the surrounding is say Q amount, and the surrounding temperature is T0. And if we'll consider the average of these two temperatures, T1 dash and T1 double dash, it is say T1. So on the graph, if we'll plot this, so A to B, this is the process going on, A to B, the process is going on, and in all the processes the heat is transferred or heat is rejected into the atmosphere. So we are considering T1 dash point this one, and T1 double dash point is this one, and the average of this one is 1, that is T1. In this particular case, the Q amount of heat is transferred. Q amount of heat, this is the hatching portion, is transferred, and the change in entropy during this particular process is delta S1. Similarly, at some other section of the pipe, the temperature is T2 dash, and in the downstream the temperature is T2 double dash, and the average of these two is T2 temperature, and from this reason also the same amount Q amount of heat is transferred to the surrounding. So this is on the graph. T2 dash is this temperature and T2 double dash is this one, and T2 is the average temperature, and this is the Q amount of heat is transferred, and the change in entropy during this process is delta S2. Okay, so let us find out how the quality of the energy is changing. We know that change in entropy is given by mCp dt by T, or we can rewrite this equation dt by ds equals to T by mCp. That is, the slope of temperature entropy is dependent on the temperature. If the temperature is higher, the slope will be high, and if the temperature is lower, then the slope will be lower. Okay. So let us consider the first section which we had considered, this one. In this, the Q amount of heat is rejected, and that is given by mCp T1 dash minus T1 double dash, and if we assume the average of these two temperature is T1, then the heat transfer we can write as T1 into change in entropy delta S1, that is the area under this curve. So this is the area. So this is the amount heat rejected by this pipe. So Q equals to T1 into delta S1. Now the energy loss with this heat loss at the temperature T1, if we want to find out the energy lost of the available energy, then it will be equals to, that is the maximum work what we can get is the lost, because it is just a energy transfer taking place, no work we are getting. So in this case the energy lost will be W1 equals to Q, that is the amount of heat supplied, minus the lowest temperature where the heat can be rejected. So if we will consider this particular cycle, in this case this is the amount of heat supplied and this is the amount of heat rejected. So it will be T0 minus delta S1, the change in entropy during the heat addition process. So it is delta S1. So the work which we are losing is Q minus T0 into delta S1 in this section. Similarly, if we will consider the second section where the temperature in the upstream is T2 dash and in the downstream the temperature is T2 double dash. So the heat transfer, if we are considering the same amount Q, then it is mCp T2 dash minus T2 dash, T2 double dash. If we will consider the average temperature is T2, then it will be, the Q will be given as T2 into delta S2. Delta S2 is the change in entropy
during this particular process. And if we want to find out the energy lost, then we have to find out the available work. Actually that available work is the lost energy. So the W2 in this particular reason, if we had run the engine, then this should work, we should have got. So it is equals to Q minus the heat rejected by this engine, reversible engine will be the lowest temperature T0 minus into change in entropy during this particular heat addition process. So it is delta S2. We know that delta S1 is less than delta S2 because T2 is lower than T1. So, and T1 delta S1 equals to T2 delta S2, that means delta S1 is less than delta S2. That means W1 which we are losing will be more as compared with the W2 which we are losing. That means if I am having a certain amount of energy, a heat energy, and if I am having it at temperature 1000 or I am having at temperature 100, then the available energy what I am getting from this is higher as compared to the available energy I am getting from this at this temperature. Okay, the other way I can say, if I am providing some insulation, then I must provide the insulation at the higher temperature range here, so that the heat loss should not take place, or the heat loss should take place as minimum as possible. So in that case the available energy which I am losing will reduce here. W1, this the available energy W1, this amount I am losing is higher as compared to the amount this one. So if I am providing insulation at the higher temperatures effectively, then I am transferring I am not losing the available work. Okay, so that is the quality of energy. The higher the temperature, the better is the quality. The lower is the temperature, the lower is the quality.
Let us consider law of degradation of energy. The available energy of the system decreases as its temperature or the pressure decreases and approaches to the surrounding. And we know that the degradation is more for energy loss at a higher temperature than at a lower temperature. That means if we are losing a same amount of heat at higher temperature, the degradation of the energy will be more as compared to if we are losing the same amount of heat at a lower temperature. And we know that the first law of thermodynamics says that energy is conserved. एनर्जी जो है क्वांटिटी वाइज हमेशा कंजर्व रहती है, लेकिन सेकेंड लॉ जो है वो इम्फेसिस देता है कि एनर्जी जो है वो ऑलवेज डिग्रेड होती है क्वालिटी वाइज। माने फर्स्ट लॉ बोलता है कि क्वांटिटी वही रहती है, लेकिन सेकंड लॉ बोलता है कि उसकी क्वालिटी जो है वो कमज़ोर होती जाती है। जैसे कि अगर हम एक एग्जांपल लें थ्रॉटलिंग प्रोसेस का, एडियाबेटिकली अगर हम किसी चीज़ को थ्रॉटल करते हैं तो उसका प्रेशर जो है वो रिड्यूस हो जाता है, जबकि उसकी एंथैल्पी जो है वो वही रहती है। लेकिन इसके कारण जो उसका अवेलेबल वर्क है वो बहुत कम हो जाता है, या अवेलेबिलिटी जो है वो उसकी अवेलेबल एनर्जी जो है वो बहुत कम हो जाती है। ठीक है, या अगर हम दूसरा लें कि किसी पाइप से लिक्विड फ्लो हो रहा है और या गैस फ्लो हो रही है और उसके इंसुलेटेड है, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द फ्रिक्शन उसमें जो इरिवर्सिबिलिटी जनरेट हो रही है, प्रेशर लॉस हो रहा है, तो उसकी जो एनर्जी है वो डिग्रेड होती जा रही है। अभी अगर हम लोग को एक एग्जांपल लें, जैसे हमने T1 और T2 इसके बीच में अगर एक रॉड को हमने कनेक्ट कर दिया, एक टेम्परेचर रखा है हमने बॉडी का टेम्परेचर T1 और दूसरी बॉडी का टेम्परेचर रखा है T2, इनको एक रॉड से कनेक्ट कर दिया और T1 जो है वो हायर देन T2 है। तो T1 की अगर हम इंट्रॉपी चेंज निकालेंगे तो वो आएगा -Q/T1, और T2 जिसमें हीट जा रही है उसकी इंट्रॉपी चेंज आएगी Q/T2। और अगर हम यूनिवर्स की इंट्रॉपी चेक करेंगे ΔS1 + ΔS2 तो ये हो जाएगी Q1/T2 - 1/T1 एंड दैट विल बी ग्रेटर देन 0। तो हम बोल सकते हैं कि ये जो प्रोसेस हुई ये इरिवर्सिबल हुई और इसके कारण उसका इंट्रॉपी जो है वो इंक्रीज़ हुआ यूनिवर्स का। मतलब इसकी जो अवेलेबिलिटी है, अवेलेबल एनर्जी जो है वो कम हो गई। ये टेम्परेचर T1 पे जो एनर्जी थी वही एनर्जी अब T2 में चली गई, T2 टेम्परेचर की हो गई तो उसकी अवेलेबिलिटी जो है वो कम हो गई। इसको हम लोग एक दूसरे तरीके से भी देख सकते हैं। मान लीजिए कि हम इस T1 वाले बॉडी को या सिस्टम को एक हीट इंजन से ऑपरेट करते हैं और जबकि सराउंडिंग का टेम्परेचर T0 है और सेम अमाउंट Q लेते हैं यहाँ पर जो हीट इंजन को हम ट्रांसफ़र कर रहे हैं, तो जो वर्क हमको मिलेगा इंजन से दैट विल बी इक्वल्स टू Q1 - T0/T1। और अगर सेम अमाउंट ऑफ हीट हम ट्रांसफ़र करते हैं सिस्टम 2 से जिसका टेम्परेचर है T2 और वही रिवर्सिबल हीट इंजन बिटवीन T0 एंड T2 ऑपरेट करते हैं तो उसका वर्क आउटपुट जो होगा वो होगा Q1 - T0/T2। ये कम होगा कंपेयर विथ W1, विल बी लेस देन W1, क्योंकि ये जो वैल्यू है यहाँ पर ये कम है तो ये वर्क ज़्यादा होगा और ये वाला वर्क कम होगा। सो W2 विल बी लेस देन W1। मतलब क्या हुआ कि सेम हीट कैपेसिटी जो थी अगर वो हायर टेम्परेचर पे थी तो मेरे को ज़्यादा वर्क मिलता था और जब वो लोअर टेम्परेचर पे है तो उससे मुझे कम वर्क मिलता है। सो दिस इज़ द वर्क लॉस्ट because of this heat transfer from T1 to T2 that will be equals to W1 - W2। यहाँ ये वर्क अवेलेबल था या अवेलेबल एनर्जी थी और ये अवेलेबल एनर्जी थी सेकेंड केस में। इन दोनों का जो डिफरेंस है दैट इज़ द वर्क लॉस्ट when the heat is transferred from T1 to T2 without any work. So that will be equals to T0 into delta S, change in entropy. Okay, अभी अगर हम लोग दो तरीके हैं हमारे पास दो सिस्टम को एक दूसरे से न्यूट्रलाइज करने के लिए या इक्विलिब्रियम में लाने के लिए। एक तरीका ये है कि T1 और T2 जो बॉडीज़ हैं मेरी, इनको मैं एक रॉड से कनेक्ट कर दूं और हीट ट्रांसफ़र होने दूं और इसका एक फाइनल टेम्परेचर आ जाएगा TF। इसका टेम्परेचर कम होगा और इसका टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज़ होगा एंड फाइनली ये जो है एक पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर TF पर आकर के सेटल हो जाएगा, इक्विलिब्रियम में आ जाएगा, थर्मल इक्विलिब्रियम में। अगर इन दोनों की हीट कैपेसिटी सेम है तो वो टेम्परेचर जो है वो दिया जाएगा T1 + T2/2 से। अगर इनके बीच में मैं एक हीट इंजन को ऑपरेट कर देता हूँ, यहाँ पर T2 लगा करके अगर एक हीट इंजन को ऑपरेट कर देता हूँ तो उस पर्टिकुलर केस में इन दोनों का जब इससे Q अमाउंट ऑफ हीट सप्लाई करेंगे विल गेट सम वर्क W एंड सम अमाउंट से Q2 विल बी रिजेक्टेड। तो इसका टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा इस सिस्टम का और इसका टेम्परेचर जो है वो कम होगा और एक टाइम आएगा जब टेम्परेचर TF हो जाएगा कि इसका टेम्परेचर और ये टेम्परेचर दोनों बराबर हो जाएंगे और इंजन जो है वर्क प्रोड्यूस करना बंद कर देगा। अगर ये इंजन रिवर्सिबल है तो उस पर्टिकुलर केस में TF की वैल्यू आएगी √ T1 एंड T2। अभी अगर ये हीट इंजन रिवर्सिबल नहीं है तो टेम्परेचर जो TF टेम्परेचर है वो इससे ज़्यादा होगा, विल बी मोर देन दिस एंड इट विल बी लेस देन दिस। ठीक है, दैट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द इरिवर्सिबिलिटी। सो लॉ ऑफ डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ एनर्जी ये कहता है कि ऑल्दो फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट लॉ द एनर्जी रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट or the total energy of the universe remain constant, but from this law of degradation of energy, whenever the energy or the heat is transferred irreversibly because of friction or because of a finite temperature difference, the entropy of the universe will increase and the available energy will reduce. That is, the quality of this available heat will reduce. And the other way we can say, if the entropy of the universe is increasing. That means the process is irreversible, and if the process is irreversible, then the availability of the energy is reducing. That is all about the law of degradation of energy.